Meat is a very good source of nutrition, but there are certain health complications that might be attached to the consumption of meat. You are to be careful of these and consider them before buying meat. Bacon, lamb, pork, goose, duck, beef, chicken or any other variety of meat that a person may prefer. Meat is always considered to be a healthy source of nutrients and is often considered a staple item in the majority of our cuisines. We love it cooked in various forms like fried, smoked, grilled or even with gravy. No matter in what way you like it, there are some important things that are to be considered before you buy meat. Recently several health issues have been raised with consumption of meat. Diabetes and obesity are the common ones. But one can't blame the consumption of non-vegan food alone for that. In fact, it is dependent on how you adjust your lifestyle and eating habits for a healthier living. But certain conditions are the end results of consuming meat, no matter how consciously you have been consuming it. So the matter of fact is, we all love meat, but there are certain things if we are careful of, we can certainly avoid several health complications. If broadly classified, there are two kinds of meat: red meat and white meat. White meat is often considered a better choice compared to red meat because the latter is often held responsible for a number of health problems. 1. Cancer. In 2015, the World Health Organization placed processed meats like bacon in the same category of cancer risk as asbestos and smoking cigarettes. Past studies corroborate the correlation between meat consumption and an increased risk of cancer. In fact, one study found that compared to women who ate 1 serving of red meat a week, women who ate 1.5 servings of red meat a day had a 22% greater risk of developing breast cancer. 2. Stroke. Because meat causes blockages in blood vessels, it's no surprise that it leads to strokes. Consumption of red meat in particular has been reported to increase the risk of an ischemic stroke by 47%. 3. Diabetes. According to researchers, meat is one of the most well-established dietary risk factors for diabetes. A study by the Harvard School of Public Health found that even modest consumption of red or processed meat significantly increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, an illness that can cause debilitating health problems, including blindness, kidney failure, heart attacks, and strokes. 4. Obesity. A study done in Australia found that meat contributes to obesity prevalence worldwide to the same extent as sugar. The research found that meat protein is digested later than fats and carbohydrates, making the energy we receive from protein a surplus. This surplus is converted and stored as fat in the human body. The study attributes nearly 13% of the obesity rate to the availability of meat. 5. Heart disease. Completed in 2013, an 11-year study of 45,000 volunteers found that a vegetarian diet could cut one's risk of heart disease by as much as 32%. It was theorized that this lowered risk is due to lower cholesterol and blood pressure in vegetarians. Apart from that, the nutritional quotient of meat also depends on how animals are reared. This depends on the rearing grounds of farm shops. The nutritional quotient of meat that you are consuming is directly proportional to the way in which and the environment where the animals are reared and bred. If the farm shops are supporting a healthy atmosphere in their backyards, it is certainly going to keep the animals healthy and will affect meat quality. Also, the quality of meat depends on the food that animals are given. Similar thing applies in this case. The animals that are nourished in a good way generate better meat quality. And also the farm shops that rear these animals are supposed to take certain measures to assure good health of these animals and birds. They have to regularly check animals for any health symptoms that they might exhibit. If any animal shows certain symptoms of disease or infection, it must be immediately isolated and the other animals in connection should be examined for any similar health complication. All these things are important to consider with regards to non-vegan food. Particularly if you are buying meat from any farm shop, you are to discuss all these things with the concerned individual. Also make sure that meat that you are buying isn't stale. Stale meat is always subjected to growth of certain bacteria and virus that are harmful.